Welcome to Well, That Didn't Work, the RPG podcast where a group of friends gets together to pretend to be other people, things, and creatures, mostly doing things that don't work out for them. My name is Percy, and I'm your DM, and with me I've got Mike.
And I'm playing Killenak, and I will be your friendly neighborhood Irish dwarf.
Jason.
I'm Eric Shree, and I am an Eric Cochran.
And Rick.
And I'm Fendel Merle. I will be a proprietor of Fine Liquors this evening.
And today, we're rejoining our Brew Crew. When last we saw you guys, you had defended Hops's fried spicy stuff quite valiantly. You defeated the Mimic and conquered the first challenge, at which point Hops fed you a delicious meal and sent you on your way to Fairhaven, I believe is the name of it. Once again, I have forgotten. Gosh dang it, where is it? Yeah, Fairhaven. I did get it right. Wow. So he sent you on your way to Fairhaven, and you guys chose riding the lightning rail instead of walking on foot / cart or taking an airship. So you entered the lightning rail, and that's where we stopped. You haven't really seen anybody on the train. You haven't done anything on the train yet. You entered the train. You're at full health. The meal that Hops fed you restored any hit points you might have lost, and
It's quite a meal.
yeah, that's quite a meal. I mean, Hops's spicy fried stuff is the place to be.
How can you go wrong with spicy fried
How
stuff?
can you go wrong
I
with
was actually-
spicy fried stuff?
I was actually just going to chuck it up to the whole keg of beer that I got to drag out with me.
The whole keg. And let me tell you, it's good. It's delicious.
I was more intrigued by that puzzle box that we got as well.
You did also get a puzzle
Oh, that's
box.
right. We did get a puzzle box.
Something for you to kind of explore as you're on the train. And that's kind of why you guys decided to take the train. You wanted to take an avenue of travel that kind of afforded you the time to be able to do that.
And it's not just a train, it's a lightning
It's a lightning rail. Yeah. But even though it's a lightning rail, it's still going to take you guys a good couple of days to get to Fairhaven. So it's not as fast as lightning. It's powered by lightning elementals. So
I think that's faulty advertising myself.
well, maybe not.
Well, just be aware that, we're probably having to make multiple stops. I'm sure there's not a monorail between Fairhaven and our hometown. I'm sure there's multiple stops, multiple pickups, drops-offs, and layovers. It's just like any sort of transportation authority. You're not going to get there in one shot.
Right.
That's what Doom's hyper train service in everywhere.
All right. So we've got some very rudimentary cave drawing tiles here for you guys to play on today.
So these are how many thousands of year old?
I mean, at least 4,000 years
All right.
old. I mean, I've gone to great lengths to make sure you guys have the best tiles.
Channeled your inner primitive man here, yes.
I think a few of us as monkeys need to have some rocks and some sticks and start beating the table.
That's right.
Yeah.
So each of these side squares is going to have its own seating. So you guys are kind of just occupying abstractly this train right now. And you've got some passengers with you on the train. And like I said, this is going to be very abstract. There will be portions of what we're doing tonight that are probably not going to be on the map, or if it is, we'll kind of bring out more tiles.
Let's make sure she's not adventurous and hanging out the window.
Yeah. She's adventurous because she's the only she in the group.
She's also the only one carrying alcohol.
That's
So-
That's right. It's, I mean, Oktoberfest, you know?
Yeah.
All right.
I
So
say yes.
you're on the train, and you recognize immediately one of the, not king, he's not a king, he's more of like a governor, but you recognize one of Gruffbeard's messengers on the train. His name is Thomas Finback.
Thomas Finback.
Thomas Finback.
All right.
And so we know him as...
He's a messenger for Gruffbeard.
Okay, so he basically just...
He's part of like a diplomatic envoy.
Cool.
So he is, for whatever reason, you don't really know why, going to Fairhaven as well.
Oh, we know he's bound for Fairhaven.
I mean, that's just where the train's going. You assume Fairhaven is the capital of Andair, so you assume if there's a diplomat on the train, he's probably going to communicate with somebody in Fairhaven.
Cool. No, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. So at this point, I'm going to give the conversations over to you guys. Feel free to introduce yourself to anybody on the train, to make noise, to go to the dining car is one car away. Your like belongings, like clothing and stuff, is in the cargo car. You've got your own space. You can have your weapons on you. It's not like a no weapons train or anything like that.
Okay.
What about the puzzle box? Is that in someone's bag, or because I mean
You tell me.
Well, I personally
I would
picked.
imagine you kept it.
I did, and Akrak would probably be manipulating it, playing with it, just kind of by his own inquisitive nature, just wanting to kind of sort of figure it out.
Sure.
Maybe not like trying to fully solve the puzzle, but just kind of, if you've seen the movie Dude, Where's My Car, kind of, how throughout the movie he's playing with the Rubik's Cube.
Sure.
Just kind of sort of that.
Just kind of absent-mindedly clicking the boxes.
This is kind of looking at it, getting a feel for what it does, what moves what, and
yeah.
So I don't know if I need to make a roll for that or.
You even if you made a roll right now, you wouldn't figure it out just yet. So, but you can begin to learn the processes that this box
Sure.
goes through, kind of thing.
I'm still no chance for a roll here or for. I mean,
you can make like a wisdom roll.
Okay.
If you want to, go for it.
That's a 9. So probably
9?
yeah. Absent.
Yeah, you just begin getting familiar with the box itself.
It's like I've described it. Makes sense for the role. More absent-mindedly playing with it as opposed to, actually sitting down and.
Sure. So, as you're playing with this box, a very, very small, about 2.5 foot tall gnome approaches you.
Okay. Me specifically, or our
you
group?
Specifically, yeah, because you're playing with this puzzle box.
Oh yeah, gnomes are real inquisitive.
He's very
about.
inquisitive. Gnomes are, especially in Eberron, known tinkerers.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, "What do you got there?"
Known for blowing things up. So be careful.
It's a puzzle box that we got in our for the finest.
Finest what?
Well, we're one of the participatory teams in Gruffbeard's Finest Challenge.
Is that this year?
Yeah.
Go figure. So what do you got to do with that box?
That's what we're kind of sort of trying to figure out right now. By the way, I'm Akrak. Pleasure to meet you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My name's Quan.
Oh, nice to meet you, Quan.
So you got this box as part of some challenge? You're trying to become champions with a puzzle box? That's kind of weird.
It's just the first step on the journey. You know how those always go.
Yeah, I usually slip. Well, I guess if it's Gruffbeard's Finest, you guys must be with him, huh?
Oh, aye.
Yeah, we are. What you drinking?
Little whiskey in a thimble.
A little whiskey in a thimble? Mm-hmm. Would you like to make that a shot glass?
I'm a gnome. That is a shot glass.
I understand. That's why I was asking if you'd like to make it a...
Oh. You want me to drink like a big boy, huh?
Oh, like you're capable.
Well, he cracks his neck, which sounds very dainty. He says, well, I mean... If this is the kind of train ride we're going to have, then I think we need to set some ground rules and boundaries.
Ground rules and boundaries in a drinking contest?
No.
Contest,
After the contest, you can't follow me to my room and throw me out the window. It's happened before. I don't really want to get in any kind of trouble on this
No
ride.
wheelbarrows will be involved, I promise.
No wheelbarrows. Well, that's not even what I said, but order up.
I'll make sure he doesn't throw you out the window.
All right, the...
No, he might punch you a little bit.
He might. The train maiden comes by. You guys order these drinks, and I guess roll a Constitution save. Well, are you an elf? Is that right?
A half elf.
A half elf.
Yep.
So you don't have any kind of immunity to
To poisons? No.
Cool. So yeah, roll Constitution. And are you going to do this as well?
Oh,
you, of course, get
I'm getting.
advantage because
Yes, I
you're a
do.
dwarf.
I'm not participating, by the way.
Hopefully I get a nice vintage port. Is what I would order. So.
Well, he ordered you guys whiskey.
Okay.
It's Constitution, so.
Constitution. So that would be a 9.
All right, he got an 8.
21.
You got a 21, so the dwarf drinks you fastly under the table.
Well, I would expect that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in between, I'm actually tapping the keg.
I'm not even touching that one. Okay.
And you guys get so unbelievably drunk that the gnome begins to hiccup, and every time he hiccups, like a little bolt of magic, like a firework, fires up, and he begins singing a song that I'm not gonna sing.
Oh, come on.
I'm not gonna sing it, but it sounds like very, very, very whimsical, and almost has no words. It's mostly just kind of a melody. And as he's doing this, magic is flowing out of this guy. You can tell at this point he's not just like any gnome. This guy's like a very powerful wizard.
It's like a garden gnome.
And as he's no, you're gonna have to get a little bit closer, by the way.
Okay.
I just know, like, just looking at here, it's not picking you up very hot. So he's singing this song, and magic is flowing out of him. And as he does, the train car itself starts to kind of transform before your eyes. So roll me an Arcana check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
All of us?
All of you.
Oh boy! I wish I was playing high-low right now.
I don't know, Jack.
I got a 4.
Arcana.
I got a 1.
I got a 6.
All right.
And I wasn't even drinking.
I never said intellect was my strong suit.
No, you did not. All right, so
Wait, was the disadvantage for the people who had been drinking?
no, the disadvantage was for this is magic that you don't know.
Okay, no, that's
Right.
fine. I just was curious.
It's extremely foreign magic. So he creates this landscape around you guys. You see yourself standing on like an asteroid, and stars are shooting by you. Like it's very like real fun trip. Is what it's like. Shooting
What was?
stars are shooting
I've got to
past
get
you.
some of this for Gruff Beards.
So this wasn't in the drink. This is the gnome's magic. It's probably
He
some
may
sort
not.
of-
He may not know any better though.
Rick,
That's true.
you are not allowed to smoke the gnome. Just stay away. Say no.
That sounds like the worst kind of euphemism.
It was.
And I'm refraining. This is PG, right?
Hashtag don't smoke the gnome.
That would be the title of this.
Tweet
week's-
at us, people. Tweet at us.
I was going to say that would be the title of this week's episode.
You think I'm joking?
No, I know.
So-
I know you're not.
So all of
Do I
this is
see
happening.
Alice anywhere? No.
No.
Hey,
You
that's
do now.
that's my game.
You do now see the gnome standing in front of you, and he says, "What? Firework. What do you think?
What do I think of what? Of
Th-
this?
This?
Is it real?
Well, in a sense,
I mean, I see it. But is it real?
well, yeah. I mean, it's as real as I make it.
Really?
By the way, Akrak is just sitting down, wings completely folded back, going, "Where the hell am I? What the hell is
But
this?
what are you
What's going
sitting on?
on?"
Are there chairs? Are we still? And is the train car still around, or are
Well,
we
if,
just on
if
the
you were
asteroid?
sitting whenever this started, then you're still sitting.
Yeah, no, I'm still sitting because I didn't get up. But
We probably would be sitting.
Yeah. Well, would you want to get up?
I'm not sure that I really want to move at this point in time. Kwanzaa, where are we? Are we still on the train?
As far as I know, yeah.
And so we're still hurtling along?
At high speeds.
Well, relatively, yes.
So, what do you want to see next?
What do I want to see next?
This is barely even magic.
Really?
Get a little bit closer.
Can you show us like the past and the future and things like that,
What do
or?
you want to see?
Well, what I'd really like to see is, myself at Gruffsbeard's in a few years.
He begins to sing again, and this song is more of like a march. It's not like a fighting march, but like a song that sounds of purpose and competition. And he sings this song, and the starscape kind of fades away, and you're back at Gruffbeard's finest. And the picture you see is not of you brewing some master crafted beer or wine. It is you in a fighting pit in the bottom of a winery, like in I can't remember what it's called, where they crush the grapes.
Oh, a vat.
Yeah, just a vat. You're in like a fighting pit. You're fighting with somebody in this vat, and where there normally would be wine, the floor is caked with blood.
Okay. Well, that doesn't look very pleasant. Am I winning?
Yeah,
Oh.
you're winning.
So what about for the rest of us? Is it the same scene, or are we all seeing different things?
You actually still see the starscape.
Cool.
Quonset is
It's just Quan, please.
Quan. Well, Quan, sit.
Well played, Rick.
Good save. Good catch.
Now, is this just something that you?
By the way, you guys hear this conversation,
Oh yeah.
but you're not seeing what he's saying.
Are there people around cheering, or
Yeah.
is it?
It's like it looks like a coliseum kind of thing, but it's very different from what Gruffbeard's finest is now.
Is this a possible future, or is this just something that you conjured up, or?
Well, this is potential based on the little I know about you, and a little bit of like I don't know, cosmic dust. That's the only way I can describe it. I don't really control these visions, these illusions that I make. I use your personality in the song, and it just makes it what the universe thinks it might be.
I'm not sure I really like this vision. Is there something? Is there any way to visualize something a little nearer term? Trying to figure out how I got to that point.
Well, I think a part of it has to do with being a half-elf, right? Your livelihood, your heritage hinges on pride. And so the natural reaction of the universe to half-elves right now is extreme competition and anger. Because that's what half-elves feel toward other elves and even humans. So that's how the cosmos responds.
I see. A pushback.
Now, of course, like I said, this is just a potential response mixed with my verse and the dust of the cosmos. This isn't reality.
I understand. I think I understand. Well, I thank you very much for that that little vision there. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And so the vision, your vision, wisps away back to the starscape. Would you two like to see anything?
I'm just kind of still mumbling to myself like, this isn't real. Get me out. Like, I'm completely oblivious to all of this.
You're not oblivious.
Well, no, but I'm.
You're freaked out.
Yeah, like in more ways than one.
Akrak,
Yes.
would you like to hear something specific?
I just want to be either back on the train or back at the meadery or back in the woods. Either would be fine than this. And I kind of look around and kind of genuflect and kind of better than this place because I like the sky, but this is
So roll an intellect check for me, or
Investigate or
not investigation. The other one that starts with an I. Insight.
Insight.
That's perception.
Yeah. Well, insight is a skill, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. But it's a perception skill. But yes, you're right. Boy, you are just rocking and rolling tonight.
You're killing it, man.
He's killing himself.
One?
One, yeah, no.
Well, I mean,
So
it's a nat one, but
right, but there's no crit failure.
fail.
No,
right.
it's not.
I know, but it
So
would be
what's
a
your bonus?
it would be a 7.
Oh, see, that's pretty good.
That's not bad.
Well, if it's insight.
If it's in,
Yeah.
that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
If it was an intelligence check or an investigation check, it would be a 2.
yeah,
You got
you're
a
not,
plus 6
you're not
on
gonna
your
gather
insight?
anything.
Wisdom plus proficiency.
Yeah, his wisdom's a +4.
Yeah, my
Plus
wisdom's
4, okay.
and then I have
Plus
proficiency in insight.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. So you don't glean anything from it, but he begins singing a song, and because Aarakocra are so rare, they're so little known in this plane.
The universe is having a hard time responding or reacting.
Yeah, you get kind of a split of visions where you see a forest that's growing inside of buildings. It's a very strange deal, and you can even see like starlight poking through the windows of these buildings. It's a mixed bag of a lot of different things, and suddenly your skin grows very, very, very hot, and it becomes very, very uncomfortable for you. And he notices this and says, do you want me to stop?
At this point, I'm more or less intrigued and don't really care. I mean, I'm still like you said, I
Sure.
feel hot, but the thing with it would be the natural druidic response. It's like nature kind of taking back over. I'm more intrigued of what's going on,
Sure.
and I'm less concerned about myself and more concerned about the outer self.
So he keeps singing and humming and making this tune, and as he does, the buildings begin to crack, and magma begins to flow out of them, and suddenly everything is covered in this molten rock.
Mm-hmm.
And he snaps his fingers, and the vision flows away. And as he snaps his fingers, you hear like a clanking, grating sound of metal cutting into metal.
Okay.
None of us hear any of this, though. Only Seb.
You hear.
Oh.
You do not hear. You don't see the
Anything.
molten rock. You don't see any of that, but you do hear the sound of metal cutting into metal.
Oh, so that's a real sound.
There's a chance.
Whoa, what's that sound? Did y'all hear that?
He vanishes for a moment and comes back and says, I didn't see anything out there. Mr.
It's
Karanak.
Kelanak.
Kelanak.
Ach, my wee friend.
What would you like to see, Kelanak?
Well, I think I'd like to see when we become champions. How much of the word of Dolora is being spread?
Interesting. That's a very specific response. Let's see what I can conjure up for you. And he starts humming this song, and as he's humming this song, you hear kind of in the corner of your mind, in like one of the very back spots, Kelanak, snap out of it, Kelanak. And he keeps singing this song and weaving this tale for you, and it's showing you exactly what you want to see. The what's your deity's name?
Dolora.
Dolora. You see, the Church of Dolora has blossomed in ways that it never had before you were champion, especially at Gruffbeard's finest. But your ales are going out to so many places, and the name of Dolora is being spread that way, and you know everybody likes a good beer. So they're all drinking it, and they're all hearing about this god who, what is he? God of light. Yep.
Yep.
Ooh,
Is God of the Dawn.
God of the Dawn. And so you're seeing this vision, and roll me a... gosh, discipline is not a skill in this game. We play too many games. Wisdom check.
Oh, well, that'll work. 14.
14. That voice that was shouting out for you gets a little bit louder. Galanak, we need you. Galanak, come on, man, step out of it. Ah!
Do I recognize this voice?
You recognize it as Toma.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take a look at the drink in my hand and go, I don't know if it's our wee friend or the drink that's getting me.
No, I don't know.
You don't hear this.
Oh, well, he just said that out loud.
You hear him say that, but
Right.
you haven't heard the voice.
No, right. That's what I said. I don't know. I had a vision too. What did you see?
You're a whole lot of fun at parties.
Yeah. Also, you can't hear him right now.
Oh, but I hear him talking,
Yeah.
and I see he's
Yeah.
talking. But he doesn't hear me. I can tell he doesn't hear me.
And I'm specifically talking to the...
Yeah.
No.
Right. Yeah, I
Well,
figured
yeah,
that.
I'm known for my parties.
You're known.
I'm known for a lot of things.
Oh.
What else are you known for?
Well,
So you're a known gnome?
I am a known gnome. and he turns and says that to him, and you see him turn, but you don't see him.
Okay.
I'm known for my magic. I'm known for,
By the way,
stuff.
do I still have the puzzle box in my hand? Okay. That has not left my grip.
Correct.
Good. Just making sure.
Yeah. You hear another clanking sound of metal cutting into metal.
Oh, what was
We
that?
all hear that. Quan,
I'm sure that it was nothing.
Quan, we've heard
Where
that
did I hear it
couple
coming
times.
from? Was there a direction that I heard it coming from?
It just kind of echoed in your ears.
Oh, okay. Does this sound like the sounds of, like, general battle, like a fight, swords clanking, weapons clanking?
More like you would recognize the sound of like a blade cutting into a sheet of steel.
We're on a train. I wonder if there's something going on with the train. Do you hear that?
I do, but
Okay.
I don't. I can't place it. I wouldn't recognize that sound.
All right, my wee friend. I guess it's time to let me out of this little vision.
He begins to sing again, and it takes you further and further into this vision. And you now are seeing yourself at least 50 years older than you are now.
So what about?
How do you tell that with a dwarf?
My beard grew a little bit.
That's right.
Nose got a little bigger.
Nose hair. You're braiding it now.
So he's kind of taking you a little bit deeper into this vision that he was showing you. And
How deep am I into this? Because again, I
you're
was
still in the starscape. You're kind of on the surface level.
well, and
of
that's
it.
the thing. Like, because I don't like this place
Yeah.
already. Is there any way for me to?
Roll roll Arcana with disadvantage again.
Yeah, A4.
I'm going to try to recognize the sounds in relation to things we might have heard on the train. I'm thinking something's going on with the train.
Yeah, roll perception.
Just regular perception, or? Ooh, I crit.
Very nice. So what is the total on that?
The total on that would be 27.
27. So you can tell that that's not a sound in this like starscape that you're now sort of trapped in.
I kind of assume that, but I can't make out where I've heard the sound before or what it might be. I mean, like sword, say
It
some
sounds like it's from outside of the train.
from outside of the train. Okay,
And so now with that high of a perception,
because I'm closing my eyes and trying to just go with the
with
sound.
that high of the perception check, you can now hear the like rat-tat-tat, rat-tat-tat of the train going on the tracks, and you can hear some voices and talking, and all of it sounds concerned. You don't hear another clanging sound yet, but that's kind of what you're able to pick up on. Like you have by closing your eyes and concentrating, you've started to kind of remove yourself from the vision.
Okay. Even though I don't realize that yet because I've got my eyes closed and I'm concentrating. Guys, something's going on in the train. I got a feeling that I'm hearing something, and something's going on with the train. I can pick up the voices. They sound agitated, of where we really are, because we're not here. So where we really are, something's going on. We may want to get back. Quan, do you know what's going on?
Quan is singing a song, and both he and Kellenak are in a trance right now.
Gotcha.
Do
So
I hear any of this?
You don't hear what Rick hears or what Findle hears.
You just hear what I'm telling you.
You just hear what he's telling you about.
Oh, okay. So I
And
actually.
you got to make sure, Rick, to be a little bit closer, especially because you're being extra quiet.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I
normal.
actually hear what Findle said. So
Yeah, you hear Findle.
Okay.
You guys are in the astral area, or not astral. It's not like the plane, the astral plane, but this cosmoscope.
this projection, if you will.
Do we see
this-
Thanos?
You know.
So upon hearing that, can I then roll like an insight or because I can't pick up what he's putting down right now. So
Yeah, you guys can both. Now that he's saying that, you guys can both make wisdom checks to try to break the illusion.
okay.
Kellenak, you can also make a check to break the illusion, but yours is going to be much more difficult.
Is it disadvantaged, or is it going to be?
It's just a harder check. I've got a higher DC for you.
If it's an illusion, that's typically investigate.
Yeah, but I want you to make a wisdom.
That's
check.
fine,
So
I understand.
You're
It's
not
10.
really. You know it's an illusion, so you're not trying to find out if it's fake.
Right.
You're trying to break out.
I'm trying to get
you're
out of
under-
his
you're
magic.
like
I'm
a
under
sort of
his
charm
magic.
spell.
Gotcha.
So am I doing this as a saving throw then?
Yeah.
Okay. Crit fail.
You are in.
Yeah, you are enamored. You're doing really well for yourself. You've got bags of money surrounding you. The finest bearded dwarf women surrounding you and singing songs to you, and you are happy as a clam.
There's nothing like a good dwarf woman.
6.
Okay, and Findle, what did you get?
10. Yeah, we're just rock stout wisdom, We have wills of iron.
Hey, I rolled a 2.
Well, I rolled a 3. No,
I-
I rolled
I-
a 7. I take that back.
Rick, unlike you, this is my good skill.
Yeah, wisdom is my skill, and I rolled a 2. There's not much I can do about
Wisdom
that.
is not my dumb. It is one of
Wait,
my
is
good
it-
skills.
Are you not proficient in wisdom?
You didn't say it was a saving throw. You
Yeah,
just
It's
said
a save. If I'm
Oh.
telling you, I know I said the word check, but if I tell you to make a wisdom
Yeah.
check,
I know.
I
I,
mean wisdom save.
I'm just
Right.
making sure
Yeah.
because sometimes there are just things as pure wisdom and intelligence checks
Yeah, well,
versus.
you would still have proficiency on those.
Okay,
If you've got proficiency in 2 abilities, in 2 attributes.
yes, I know.
Anytime you're making a straight check with those that's unskilled, you get your proficiency bonus.
Okay,
on that.
no, just then it would be an
Yeah.
8, but
Okay,
still.
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So not much better, but
No.
a little bit better for
I mean,
the future.
Yeah.
No,
not
and
enough.
6 versus an 8. Still, I'm not beating a DC 10, which is usually average for most anything.
Right.
So, for those uninitiated in D&D, DC 10 is average.
My wee friend here. Why I said I think we're going the wrong way. I know I'm not the smartest tool in the shed here, but I need to get out.
All right. I'm gonna need you to make a wisdom check.
A wisdom check. All right.
I'm gonna walk over to
Well, that's better.
That's a hell of a lot better. All right. So that is considered a save, correct?
Yeah.
23.
23. All right. You are not charmed by him. He tries to. You see kind of another firework erupt from him and hit you, and you feel like he's trying to bore into your mind, and you're able to avoid that.
do I see any of that?
At this point, you can roll initiative if you would like to begin kind of the encounter against the gnome that's captured you in the Cosmoscope.
Now I'm gonna go.
Okay.
I'm gonna open my eyes and I see that he's not coming out of it. I'm talking to him. He's not. I'm gonna slap him.
Well, everybody roll initiative
Roll initiative.
at this
Okay.
point.
Well, I think I have initiative. Maybe not. Of course, I roll my crits. The perception crit, that was good, but
You're up to 2 crits tonight, so I wouldn't even
I
say
know.
anything.
and you rolled another one because you're my yang. You're the yang.
I
to
rolled
my
a
yin.
4.
You want another die?
I know. I've been rolling both die, and they've both been coming up.
I know. Do you want another die?
think it might be his hands.
Rolled a 16 on his die, so doesn't really matter. Some nights you just have those nights.
Oh, I know.
It happens to the best of us. It happens to the worst of us.
Yep. All right. So, Kellenak, what'd you get for initiative?
I got a 13.
Akrak.
An 8.
Fiddle.
24.
All right, Fiddle. Show me what you got.
Okay. They're both in a trance, but I don't see any attacks going on. So right now, I would probably. Did I see him cast a spell at
did not.
Kellenak? Okay, then I'm going to go start trying to wake Kellenak up. I'm going to slap him. I'm going to start shaking him.
All right. Roll an unarmed attack.
That would be. Excuse me.
That's not beating his DC.
Right. No, that would be a 16.
I'm not
What's
going to
your
medic.
AC?
My AC actually equipped with a shield is 17. It'd be 15 without.
Okay.
Sitting on a train, I would assume we're without.
Yeah, you probably
It's just kind of sitting
don't
there.
have your shield out. All right, so you smack him. So Kellenak, you take 1 damage.
Thank you, my friend.
I make it sneak attack. I mean,
You take 1 damage, and you don't wake up from it, but you get a sense that okay, there is something going on because you do feel it
Okay.
for sure. And then it's going to be your turn.
And it's not one of those dwarf women that slapped him. Maybe he likes it a little rough.
No, it's not like a dream situation.
Hey, you never know. I mean, this seems to be a pretty potent gnome.
It is a pretty potent gnome. All right, Kellenak, what do you do?
At least it's not a pretty potent pony. Keep that joke. Sorry.
I said, what are you doing here, lad? Don't make me have to tell you to let me go now. I don't want to have to hurt you.
He kind of through his song, he grins. And about that time, you hear the shattering of glass.
Okay. So where I was going with that is, if I need to, I'm going to start chanting my command spell.
we're in the other landscape, or do you want to stay on the train?
Just stay on the train, yeah.
Okay.
Do we all hear the shattering glass, or just?
Yeah, you all hear the shattering glass.
Okay.
What shattering glass? Sounds like Velcro.
This is like that bad Jack Link's commercial, you know, the quiet snacks. Hunting Sasquatch or something.
All right. So you're chanting command. So what does that do? What do I need to do?
All right. So I'm going to give him. Basically, I'm going to give him a command to flee.
Okay.
What he has to do.
Make a saving throw.
He has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
And if he fails the saving throw, then he has to run and flee as far from me as
What's
possible.
your DC?
It's 13.
13.
All right. And so you command him to run.
To run, to flee.
Okay. And so the command spell specifically, like what is it?
It's a one-word command.
It's a one-word command.
And they like are required to follow it.
They are
Yes.
required to follow it for the duration of the round.
All right. So
let me tell you, flee.
Mhm.
Flee says the target spends its turn running away from you by the fastest means possible.
okay. So I'm gonna roll for him another wisdom save for some concentration. That one he makes. So he leaves you in the illusion. You hear pop, 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 and he's out of both of the illusions, and you guys are still in it.
So he's gone, but we're still.
Correct. You said quickest way possible.
Yeah, I was wondering about that myself. But, that's legit. Okay, so
Whose turn is it?
It is going to be yours, Akrak.
All right. I kind of like this idea. I don't know how well it might work, but we'll try it.
It's crazy enough. It
Just might work. Well, I mean, the name of this
didn't work.
I was going to say, this podcast is aptly named, so we're going to see if this works. And if it doesn't, well, we're fitting the, what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry.
The Gnome de Jean.
All right, what are you doing?
I'm going to cast Fairy Fire
Okay.
to try to get a feel for... We were on a crowded train.
Mhm.
If I can see other objects with Fairy Fire in a area that would be compact like a train, maybe, just maybe, I can start to piece reality back into this faux reality that we're in.
I'm interested.
So, each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in a... I kind of like the color violet, so I'm going to go with violet light.
That's very violent.
Any creature in this area, when the spell is cast, is also outlined in light if it fails a dexterity saving throw.
And everybody has advantage in attacks against us.
For the duration, objects and affected creatures shed dim light in a 10-foot radius. Any attack roll against an affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it, and the affected creature or object can't benefit from being invisible.
Wow, okay, so you cast Fury Fire. So the entire train car, of course, lights up. Like, you get a full outline of everything. So you're still staring into this starscape, and now you can see everything on the train outlined as well. In the midst of this illusion, Kellenak can also see this. So, like, all of a sudden, like a purple light covers all of the gold that you have. that you've amassed.
It's fool's gold.
You, of course, as you move it, like, you can see, like, you see the outline of the train. Like, it's very clear to you, like, that's what it is. And you see these lines begin to outline people. They kind of emanate from Akrak. And they outline the individuals who are where they were sitting very comfortably. They're now mostly cowering. And toward the end of the train car that you're sitting on, there is
A stormtrooper.
a dwarf on the ground and a long-haired humanoid holding a dagger above him.
So he didn't even know that I cast this yet, or do they recognize that they're bathed in a light? Or
Oh yeah, no, it doesn't give you like a. Well, is it? Yeah, it's not like a you only see it. It doesn't say everything.
no, yeah, no, I'm
Everybody sees it.
In a 20-foot cube, just enough that you get this. So, do you move?
I try to move. I don't know how that
You see the outline of everything.
yeah, I know,
If
but
you had tried to move before, you'd have like run into things and fallen down. But now you can see where everything is. So even though you're not outside of the illusion yet, you know where stuff is.
right, but
So we
also
have a
being inside an
ghost.
illusion, it's one of those things where am I and maybe I'm thinking too much into this, and this is where
I think you are. This is a really cool like Tron moment. You've got a starscape outlined with purple people.
uh-huh.
There's a ghost train.
There's
We're in a
neon
ghost train.
outline
Well-
of everyone, and you get to act in that space. It's really the coolest thing
Oh no,
that
it's
we've done.
it is super cool. Don't get me wrong. It's just one of those things. Is my brain still connected to my body, sort of thing? So, like, if I physically move my body, it moves in the real space. Okay, that's what I was curious about.
You guys hadn't tried to move yet.
Right.
I know,
Yeah,
and that's
so when
a-
you move, you
Other
move
than when I slapped
That-
him.
that's
just
what-
like that.
that's why I was checking before I just was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna move my arm a little bit. I know that could be constituted a full action, but it's kind of more like a
Moving
free.
off a little bit isn't an action.
Well, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I'm moving in real time in real space.
All right, let's go.
Yeah,
so-
exactly.
Let's move.
But
You're overthinking too much.
I'm trying not to, but I also want to understand the space I'm in. You
Yeah,
get what
yeah.
I mean? That's part of.
Now, do we see the gnome in there too, or is he gone?
Yeah, the gnome is outlined.
He's outlined there too. Bugger.
So, I'm going to move out, and where I see the gnome, I'm going to not like put my hands on him. Well, I guess I kind of am, but I'm just going to
You've
do.
already done your action.
Oh
Yeah, you
right,
only have a movement.
yeah. So I just move kind of out into the aisle a little bit, out away from people, so that way I can I've got a little bit more room to elbow if I need to.
Cool. So the scene is going to pan outside of you, and it's going to show the train. And Thomas is unconscious on the ground with a drow holding a dagger above him. And the camera pans across the terrified faces of the other passengers and onto the Aarakocra, whose eyes are covered in this illusion. So in your eyes, you see this starscape. And the drow says, "So you want to go too, punk?" And that's where we'll end the session. Thanks so much for joining us for the Brew Crew. I'm Percy, your DM, and with me I had Mike.
And I'm Mike. I'm playing Kellenek.
Jason.
And I'm playing Akrak.
And Rick.
And I am playing Pendle and the Starry, Starry Night.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much for listening, watching, whatever you're doing.
Thank you.